everyone needs to recognize they've been misled. The point is this: mentally, emotionally, and physically, we all benefit from being the best version of ourselves, and it is time to start reclaiming your thoughts and physical vitality.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad.
Now, as the fear and frustration instilled by this panicdemic continues to simmer and occasionally boil over, people are being divided. And you cannot help but see this in the media, whether it is the mainstream media, alternative media, social media, but also simply in our day-to-day interactions. Now, this division is wrong, plain and simple. And that's because humanity rises above its biological imperatives when we unite, cooperate, and collaborate. We need to come together and have an open-ended set of conversations where data and ideas are shared and talked about so as to develop a dynamic and evolving strategy, one that adapts to the emerging data and realities rather than tearing each other apart to feel we are right. The need to be right is rarely effective, even when right. So, do you want to be right or do you want to be effective? Really, I've seen families and households with the lines drawn over vaccinated and unvaccinated. So what's my point here? The point is that you, and only you, are responsible for formulating your thoughts and taking responsibility for your health. And both of these have been usurped and compromised. It doesn't matter what position you take, or more precisely, what you think you have taken, because in the past 18 months, we've had riots, protests, an attempted storming of the U.S. Capitol, and censorship. Now, has any of this really helped you? My guess is not only has none of this helped you, it has actually distracted and hindered you in some degree. That's where it's been usurped and taken away, right? On both sides of the spectrum, media, health, policy, and political leaders have been less than transparent, obfuscated, and even lied about critical information to us. Instead, they have chosen to speak and treat us as if we are children. Sadly and tragically, the reality of speaking to society as if we were a bunch of children kind of looks to have largely worked. Again, where is the outrage? Currently, there's plenty of outrage being directed at unvaccinated individuals filling up hospitals. However, the reality is this is a red herring, because this is a dynamic situation, and emerging data indicates breakthrough infections now in vaccinated individuals are making up a significant amount of hospitalizations, and vaccinated individuals who are infected carry similar, if not higher, viral loads than unvaccinated individuals, and often unknowingly. Complicated only begins to describe what is evolving on the topic. However, what's happening is most people are forming their opinions based on oversimplified and intransient information, rather than, like I say, looking at the data, adapting, having conversations. And this brings me to the real outrage: the utter lack of a conversation, information, and policy on metabolic health. Even pre-pandemic, Dr. Fauci alluded to this prior to the current situation in this video link. But nowhere is this to be found today. Instead, people at all levels of healthcare managing this panicdemic, they're arguing back and forth about acute interventions that are having limited effectiveness precisely because we as a society have allowed our metabolic health to fall to pathetic levels to where we're susceptible to this virus. And this all but dictates many of us needing to be dependent upon a system that treats rather than cures what are in most cases reversible conditions. That's right. Most metabolic conditions are corrected without medical interventions if identified early enough. And even when medical intervention is necessary and utilized, this does not preclude in any way those no-cost, low-cost strategies for achieving metabolic health. The very ones Dr. Fauci alludes to in this 2019 video.
The best way for me to prevent getting an infectious disease and having to have you as my doctor is what? Wearing a mask?
No.
I don't need to do that. If somebody's, I can see they're ready to sneeze or cough, walk away.
You avoid all the paranoid aspects and do something positive. A, good diet. B, you don't smoke, I know. I know you don't drink, at least not very much, so that's pretty good. Get some exercise. I know that you don't get as much exercise as you should.
That's correct.
Get good sleep. I think that the normal, low-tech, healthy things are the best thing that you can do, David, is stay healthy.
All right, what I'm going to try to do.
Everyone needs to recognize they've been misled, misinformed, and have enough outrage to realize our leadership has failed. And not only that, but online health and wellness gurus have largely been quiet on the issue to avoid controversy. While those of us who are speaking up, people like Mike Mutzel, Ivor Cummings, Asim Mehrotra, myself, and even Joe Rogan, are being personally discredited rather than discredited on the quality of information being put forth. That's an important distinction. Now, we should be outraged, but this outrage should not be limited to those of us who have taken responsibility for our metabolic health. I'm talking about the outrage to recognize the responsibility for formulating your thoughts and obtaining truly robust health have been stolen from you. That's outrage, right? But more importantly, enough outrage to reclaim your responsibility to be the most optimal version of you. You need to take that back. The problem is the way forward is work. And that's because reevaluating our belief systems is excruciatingly difficult. Ironically, modern human ingenuity and innovation is driven by our perceived need for convenience, including the convenience of not having to think. So we live in an environment of the how, without that curious exploration of the why, which works wonderfully in this information age, i.e. information in, information out, no thought about it. But there's a catch to all of this information at our fingertips. We base our thoughts on what we think and believe we know without recognizing and tempering our knowledge with the realization of just how much we don't know. Now that recognition of not knowing gives pause to our certainty, causing us to think. Now the point is this: mentally, emotionally, and physically, we all benefit from being the best version of ourselves, each of us as an individual and for society. And it is time to start reclaiming your thoughts and physical vitality, both of which are based upon a physiology optimized for metabolizing your body fat as the primary and principal energy source. This is our wheelhouse, and we are here to be your guides, not some guru, so we can help you navigate your individual journey to higher health and peak performance. I'm going to leave you with this scene from the 1976 movie Network, to channel the outrage into inspiration for your personal transformation. Yeah, I'm getting personal. I'm talking about you. And it's really okay, because this needs to be about you.
Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I want you to get up right now. Get up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change.
How many stations does this go out?
You've got to get mad.
67. I know it goes to Louisville and Atlanta.
I'm not going to take this anymore. Then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the inflation and the oil crisis. But first, get up out of your chairs, open the window, stick your head out and yell, and say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Who are you talking to, Herb?
CGG, Atlanta.
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Herb?
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Ted?
But first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
They're yelling in Baton Rouge.
Get up, get up, get up out of your chair.
Son of a bitch! We struck the mother low!
Stick your head out of the window, open it, and stick your head out and keep yelling and yell, I'm as mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore. Just get up from your chairs right now. Go to
Where
the
you
window.
going? I want to see if
Everybody
anybody's
just go to
yelling.
the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell and keep yelling. I'm as mad as hell.